5 years ago, a few visionary businesses came together to found Kepro, the Kenya Extended Producer Responsibility Organization. What started as a small initiative by a few visionary business leaders, we are looking at less than 10 businesses signing up on a voluntary basis, has grown in leaps and bounds to now an entity that supports over 1,400 obligated brand owners under the Sustainable Waste Management Act and the resultant EPR regulations. In 2024, we had the EPR regulations coming into place following the enactment of the Sustainable Waste Management Act. There were certain challenges that were witnessed with the deployment of the regulations that warranted the judicial intervention. However, through our governance structures, we were able to weather the storm. The commitment from our members saw them reverting back to a voluntary model, even as we waited for the clarity within the regulatory regime. Over the last 5 years, we've been able to achieve a number of successes. More predominantly is the collection and recovery of over 88,000 metric tons of waste. In 2025 alone, we were able to collect and recycle over 11,000 metric tons. So far, we have active collection sites in 34 counties with the intention of scaling up to all the 47 counties. We found out that the consumer needed to be empowered to take on this agency role of environmental stewardship. And so we came up with a program called the Consumer-Led Transformation Initiative, which seeks to not only empower the consumer with the information around what is their role as far as disposal habits are concerned, but also how they can better influence design for products amongst producers, while also really contributing to more sustainable behaviors around consumption. Beyond the subsidy program for the recyclers, we've been particular on helping the informal actors to move towards more formalized business structures. And in this case, in addition to providing them with the capacity building, we also issue them the relevant equipment for their day-to-day operations to ensure that they're working within a safe and dignified manner, but also really pushing for fair wages to ensure that the EPR fees reflect the reality on the ground and the effort that these waste reclaimers undertake to ensure that our environment remains clean and healthy. And through that, I think we've created over 100 jobs in the last 1 year alone. This effort has also required that we work closely with county governments. The Sustainable Waste Management Act and other attendant legislation. Beyond the county governments, we also work closely with schools, obviously trying to leverage the pester power effect so that we are bringing in a new generation of consumers that is quite cognizant of their role as far as environmental stewardship is concerned, with the hope that they will be building a cleaner and better future for Kenya. In 2021, Kepro started as a voluntary EPR scheme. After the gazettement, or rather the enactment of the Sustainable Waste Management Act and the gazettement of the EPR regulations, a new regime was introduced that required mandatory compliance for producers in Kenya. With that, then Kepro was also forced to apply for registration, and I'm happy to report that in April 2026, we were officially registered as a packaging for non-hazardous packaging EPR scheme, which then cements our position as a leading producer responsibility organization in the country. Kepro has also been at the forefront of trying to advocate for what we call assisted compliance, even as we then try and address the teething challenges that we've faced with the implementation of the EPR regulation. Kepro has been on an experiential journey, learning from the challenges as well as the wins. Looking forward, the intention is to leverage on the lessons that we've had over the last 5 years to strengthen our systems. We wish to thank our members, our stakeholders and partners from across the different parts of the country, regionally and globally really, for the support they've been able to grant us. Together, we are not only complying with the EPR regulations, but building a future for responsible production and circular growth. Thank you.